Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. My apologies for the lack of updates over the last couple days. As I mentioned in my last video, I've been battling a bad cold here, but I think I'm on the tail end of it here, so hopefully I can get the videos back to regular here. There is some construction going off here in the background, so hopefully that doesn't get caught by the mic here, but wanted to try this one outside. Thought some fresh air would do me some good here. Been cooped up the last couple days, so wanted to get a little fresh air. It's a nice, beautiful day here in oil country, and obviously wanted to share my thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers' big 2-0 victory over the New York Rangers last night. As you guys know, I couldn't get a Fanatic rundown out to you, but Oilers insider Bob Stauffer just summing it up perfectly as he always does with his post-game recap. Stuart Skinner with a stellar start, steals one tonight for the Edmonton Oilers with a 30-save shutout. He was Edmonton's best penalty killer, 8th career shutout. Trent Frederick with a breakaway beauty, a mature road win for the team. As Bob noted there, a beautiful 30-save shutout for Stuart Skinner. That was a game he badly needed after a less than terrific start in Game 1 of the regular season against the Calgary Flames. Stu, as we know, takes a lot of criticism here in oil country. Some of it deserved at times. For the most part, it's really overblown, and just to see him get that big victory last night felt really great for him. And obviously the key here, it was just one game. Stuart Skinner has to put together some consistent wins here for the Edmonton Oilers if he's going to secure himself as the future number one starter for this team. So last night, a beautiful shutout victory for Stuart Skinner, but it is just one step, but thankfully a step in the right direction. And for the second straight game, Adam Henrique netting an empty net goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Adam Henrique didn't get both of the empty net goals, but for the second straight game, the Oilers have achieved an empty net goal. Last night's goal securing the 2-0 shutout victory for the Oilers. So we've seen the Oilers miss so many empty nets, so that's another big step in the right direction, getting empty net goals in 2 straight games. But going forward here, the Oilers taking on the New York Islanders tomorrow night at 5:30 in Long Island, and we've got some roster changes here to go over, so let's take a look at the latest changes from today's morning skate. Oilers insider Bob Stauffer noting the following. It was a top line of Andrew Mangiapane, Connor McDavid, and David Tomashik. A second line of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl, and Jack Roslovic. A third line of Vasily Podkolzin, Trent Frederick, and Kasperi Kapanen. And a fourth line of Isaac Howard, Adam Henrique, and Matt Savoy. On defense, Ekholm and Bouchard, Nurse and Stetcher, Kulak and Emberson, and we can safely predict, coming off a shutout, Stuart Skinner will get the start against the New York Islanders tomorrow night. So the big changes there, of course, Mangiapane moving up to the top line with Connor McDavid, David Tomashik there as well. David Tomashik has just looked on the absolute edge of finally breaking through, so really excited to see him get that opportunity with Connor McDavid. Andrew Mangiapane, 2 goals in the Oilers' first 3 games, definitely deserving of that opportunity. And obviously the big thing here is seeing Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl split up. Nuge back with Draisaitl, Roslovic getting a chance there on the second line, so really excited to see that line put together. Podkolzin, Frederick, and Kapanen looked good last night, and I expect more from them heading into Long Island. And of course, Isaac Howard and Matt Savoy with a veteran center in Adam Henrique. The unfortunate thing here is still seeing Noah Philp on the sidelines. I'd like to see him back in the lineup sooner rather than later, but I think the Oilers trying to figure out where things are at and what moves they'll have to make coming up here, because moves definitely will be needed. Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic noting here, Jake Wallman's season debut won't happen tomorrow. The defenseman is instead expected to play at some point on the weekend. The Oilers are taking on the New Jersey Devils and Detroit Red Wings on Saturday and Sunday. Shouldn't be too much longer for Jake Wallman, but this day-to-day thing does seem to be extending here, so hopefully it's not too much longer. As we know, Alec Regula taking a couple big hits from Evander Kane on Saturday against Vancouver, and that led to him being out against the New York Rangers. Ryan Lotzberg of Heavy Hockey reporting the following. If Alec Regula is hurt, he can be placed on injured reserve, retroactive to Sunday. He has to be on the IR for 7 days, so he could play on Sunday versus Detroit. Regula to IR to activate Wallman on Thursday versus the New York Islanders makes a ton of sense, but as we just found out, not needed just yet. It also gives the Oilers more time to think about inevitable roster decisions. So, as I was mentioning before, bigger roster decisions are coming, and You guys know I've been a big fan of Ike Howard since he came into Edmonton here to start the season, but I have a feeling it's leaning towards Ike Howard headed to Bakersfield here sometime soon to make the math work to get everybody back into the lineup. I imagine the Oilers are going to want Matthias Janmark in the lineup, and they're going to obviously want to activate Alec Regula, so moves will be coming here as people get healthy. Tony Brower did note yesterday that Jake Wallman was initially hopeful for Thursday versus the New York Islanders, but as I said, we know that's not happening. Matthias Janmark possible to return this weekend, and the Oilers were also hopeful that Alec Regula can return closer to the end of the trip/weekend as well, and Zach Hyman coming back at the end of October. So, as I said, moves are coming here for this team, and we'll have to see what ultimately has to shift here, but Ike Howard, as I mentioned before, may be a casualty here for the Edmonton Oilers, headed to Bakersfield, but at the end of the day, going down to Bakersfield, working on his game, certainly not the worst thing for Ike Howard going forward. I am sure he has a very promising future here in Oil Country. And one final note I wanted to touch on, Bakersfield Condors reporter Ryan Holt reporting that Connor Ingram is ready to roll for this weekend. The Bakersfield Condors have reassigned Nathan Day to the Fort Wayne Comets, making room in goal there for Connor Ingram. So hopefully we do see Connor get his first start this weekend with the Condors and see where he's at going forward here for the Edmonton Oilers. But I think that's all the latest for now, guys. My voice is starting to go here, so I'm going to call this one for now. If there's more to update you on before tomorrow's game at 5:30, I will certainly do so. But otherwise, that's the lineup we can expect tomorrow against the Islanders, and hopefully the Oilers can pick up their third straight win, currently 2-0-1 on the season, and they really should be 3-0, but we'll take 5 out of a possible 6 points at this point. Let me know your thoughts on all the latest here in Oil Country in the comments section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.